I think the sales volume has peaked as it normally does in June and July. And what we can see is a rather softer market for the rest of the year, and that's not unusual. This happens every year. This year is not going to be any different. But I think what we are seeing from the current month's activity is we expect to be a slight elevation in terms of sales and a slight elevation in terms of prices compared to last year. Not that it's going to recover completely, but I think there are some indications at least that we are moving away from the bottom. I think what we'll see is modest increases. July is always one of the peak months. And don't forget, last year we had the effects still of the federal credit, particularly in the first quarter, and there was a hangover into May, and then June we fell off the precipice. So last July was probably a little bit depressed, but even so, when we take out those effects, we were still above where we would have normally been had the trend continue. So I think probably for the next 2 or 3 months, we'll see some modest changes. Well, I think if you look at our data, they suggest that we probably, if not bottomed out, we are running along the bottom, in the sense that the downward trend seems to have stymied itself, and there is some sort of suggestion of some upward pressure. But the one concern that we have is that as we look at the data, we've still got this enormous backlog in terms of properties on the market, somewhere between 12 and 13 months. And that is really going to dampen prices. Having said that, what we are noticing in the data are that homes under $100,000 are doing very well. In fact, the supply-demand relationship there is almost where it was during the pre-recession period. Not quite, but very close. It's homes valued over $100,000 where we have the big disjunction between the numbers offered for sale and the number that are demanded. And as you move up that scale to the properties over $700,000, that's where it's really out of line. I think so, and one of the reasons was that a lot of condo properties came on the market in 2006, 2007, right into 2008, just at the time when the market crashed. And so we're seeing a huge oversupply there, and obviously the demand, if not evaporated, at least was dampened quite significantly. And in large part, I think a lot of this, I think, is a normal adjustment process. We've seen boom and bust in a lot of housing cycles. The condo market, I think, is a effect where a lot of people were anticipating increased demand, particularly in places like downtown Chicago, where you had an increasing concentration of double-income, no-kid households at the entry level, people who just graduated, and then people more seniors who were moving out of houses into the condo market. But obviously, as we moved into the recession, a lot of people just stayed put. So we had this overhang in the condo market. I think eventually it'll clear, but probably it'll take a couple of years.